A very warm Tyrone. A very warm. My buddy and I have done a lot of things together. I don't think we've ever been this hot.
Never.
I feel like temperature here is about 100 degrees. So while you're sitting there at home in your air-conditioned living room, I hope you enjoy this. But we really are happy to be in Tyrone in Blair County. It's this week's edition of our Summer Your Town series.
As always, we're going to talk about the history and the people and things here in this town that make it so special. But there's also a huge event in town.
Yeah, we are here because of that event. I mean, imagine this. It's 100 degrees, and you want to play basketball on the asphalt, on the streets. It's actually a big deal. They call it Hoops Fest, and in all honesty, it really is a really cool event. Tonight, some of our staffers who have been playing for the last half hour, so we figure when the celebrity game starts at 6, they'll just wilt and fall down. But it will happen here, right behind us, right after our broadcast.
And we're going to learn a lot more about Hoops Fest in just a bit, but first we want to take a look into what made this town.
Tyrone grew up on its labor. You know, everybody in town either had a shovel in their hand, a wrench, or something.
Tyrone was originally settled by people of Irish and German heritage. It's named after County Tyrone in Ireland, and it's always been a blue-collar town with the iron ore, railroad, and stone quarry industries.
Tyrone really started long before the 1850s, where iron ore was king. 1850s, the railroad came through. That really put Tyrone on the map. We became known as the hub of the highways. Everything went through Tyrone. We had our own rail shops.
By 1853, the town's first passenger train station was built to accommodate 3 trains per day. And by 1897, that number increased to 6 passenger trains running daily. Tyrone is also known for the world-famous Cloverine salve, a petroleum jelly manufactured by the Wilson Chemical Company. And you might be familiar with someone by the name of Fred Waring.
Fred Waring really helped put Tyrone on the map as far as back in the late 30s, 40s, 50s with his big band era. Fred grew up not more than a mile from here. Was very instrumental in raising money for the World War II canteen.
Ever since the American Civil War, professional arts have made a home in Tyrone. From Fred Waring to the historic Tyrone Legion Drum and Bugle Corps, founded in 1910. Plus the theaters, from movies to live stage shows.
The Wilson Theater and the El Patio Theater, movie theaters. We also had dozens of small theaters where they put on plays.
And we can't forget the arch rivals. Dollar says the Tyrone-Bellwood-Antis rivalry is the football game to go to. But despite all the fun,
the vast majority of the people in Tyrone are very proud of Tyrone.
I know my job here.
Yeah, you want me to take my stuff?
It's the only thing I'm supposed to do. Go ahead, you have to read that we're on.
Yeah, I know we're on.
Okay, that's your line.
Some call it the heart of Tyrone. It's the Tyrone nonprofit organization that is really committed in all seriousness to raising the next generation of leaders. A really cool organization.
Yeah, they really are, and they're the organization behind Hoop Fest. They are known as Joshua House, making a difference in this community for 18 years, and Lauren Hensley took a look.
But you need like pieces of webbing or some other cord.
Summer camp is underway at Joshua House. The building is mostly empty as campers are out exploring, but these kids are learning the ropes for a climbing trip. It's just one of the summer activities campers can do. Little do they know, every activity at Joshua House has a purpose.
It's more than a place because it's where we want to help kids find their purpose, find what they're supposed to do.
Some may say this is the heart of Tyrone. Serving the community for 18 years, it's located on Tyrone's Main Street. Joshua House has grown into a 2-story storefront from its humble beginnings. Friends meeting around a coffee table.
Easily upwards of 150 kids that'll come through that we really have the opportunity to touch their lives, impact their lives in a positive way.
In the Bible, Joshua helped wayward wanderers traveling without a purpose find their way to the promised land. Many see the man behind this place as Tyrone's very own Joshua.
Jim is amazing. I mean, he's got
an amazing call from God on his life. And I mean, he really has helped transform this town.
Hoops Fest is the organization's capstone event. Thousands descend upon Tyrone for the annual summer basketball tournament. Giving back is also an important part of their mission. From supplying those in need with Christmas gifts to hosting community dinners, the need continues to grow, and so does this organization.
We're from Joshua House!
For us, there's the opportunity to keep growing and keep expanding because there's a lot of need, but there's a lot of people, a lot of great people that want to make a difference, and so we just get to be a part and play a part in that.
Now, as we mentioned, the real reason we're here and what we're going to be talking about, actually it's going on today and tomorrow, is Hoops Fest, which really is a big deal for the community.
And we have Jim Kilmartin with us, and you founded this event. Tell us about the mission behind this event. Why Hoops Fest?
We wanted it to be the best 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the area, the state of Pennsylvania, maybe beyond that. But the mission of it is to help fund Joshua House, which is a youth community center here in Tyrone that does a ton of things for the town of Tyrone. So to be the best tournament, and then also to help raise funds for our community and our youth.
And how do you raise funds? How is the money raised?
Okay, through your registration, through sponsors, and then we're doing a basket raffle this weekend as well.
This started out really small. Now in its 16th year, you've got people registered from 9 different states.
Yeah.
Wow.
Started with 15 teams and 250 teams now, players from 9 states. It's really neat to be able to see them come and be a part of it.
And we talked a little bit about this in our last half hour. Tell me about the quality of play if people come over that they're going to see.
You see some of the best players from all around the area. That you have skill levels. When in the adult division, you have skill levels from all-star, competitive rec, and then to the really rec. So the guys that just want to have some fun. But you bring out guys that play semi-pro ball or professional ball, and then the girls that play in it from the area, they go on to national tournaments. I mean,
wow.
they're fantastic.
So the semi-pros are the ones that are going to play the celebrities.
The celebrities.
In a little while, right?
Yeah.
And you don't play in this anymore, you told me.
No, but it takes a lot to put it together.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job.
Hey,
and Joshua
Jim.
House is very, very lucky to have you guys doing this. So we're happy to be here. Good
Thanks.
luck.
Thanks,
I hope we
Jim.
all survive.
Yes,
all
thanks for being
That's
here
right.
with us.
We're thrilled to be here.
We're going to go to the break now, but in just a bit, we're going to talk about an unusual event that happened right here in Tyrone more than 100 years ago.
Seriously, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for everything you're doing.
Welcome back to a very warm Tyrone. Come on, Jen, pick it up, pick it up. It is. We're very happy to be here for this week's stop on our Summer Your Town series, and this is the home of Hoop Fest that we've been talking about that's going to take over this community tomorrow, but there's so much more to Tyrone, and of course that's what we like to talk about when we do our Your Town broadcast. And when you think of Tyrone, you might not think, okay, you can stop now, thank you. You might not think much about the circus, then again, you might be thinking about it. But actually, Tyrone is significant to the circus community.
An unusual event in Tyrone's history is the world's largest circus train wreck of the 1800s. Just before dawn on May 30th, 1893, the Walter L. Main circus train, carrying dozens of animals and performers, didn't have enough braking power. It ran off the tracks and crashed on Susan O'Brien's great-great-grandfather's property.
The stock car closest to the tender, next to the engine, had been rocking at the high rate of speed, or maybe because the 2 elephants were in that car. If you know anything about elephants, when they get anxious, they rock from side to side. So some people think that caused the wreck. But that first stock car pulled away from the tender, rolled down the 20-foot embankment, carrying with it 13 of the 17 cars.
Remarkably, only 5 people were killed, along with a number of animals. But some of the animals ran away, including a kangaroo, tropical birds, snakes, and a Bengal tiger.
And she sat down with her milking stool and was milking. She saw out of the corner of her eye some motion, and she thought, oh great, my sister's coming to help me milk. But that didn't happen. She looked up, it was a Bengal tiger charging her and the cow. She ran to the safety of her home, and lucky for her, the tiger didn't chase her.
The tiger made breakfast of the cow, and a group of men later hunted it down. So what caused the train to crash? Well, it was a lack of braking power.
And at the conclusion of the inquest, they decided that it was the PR&R's fault that this wreck occurred.
And O'Brien says that's because those working on the railroad didn't consider the number of cars on the train and how long each was. Since 1893, a wreath-laying and memorial service has been held every year, except one, on what is now O'Brien's property, where the accident happened.
Now, Tyrone also has some historical significance regarding the military. Fort Robideau is located in Tyrone Township, and the fort, also known as the Lead Mine Fort, was originally built in 1778 during the American Revolution. It was a cabin fort with 48 individual cabins in the initial structure. The general organized and paid for its construction. It protected local lead mining activities as well as local settlers from Native Americans. The grounds consist of 5 buildings, a restored barn, a restored farmhouse, a trail system, and a log house, Marty.
Yep. I don't know, Flea, if you can get a shot of this or not, but this guy back here that says Al Roker for president. Okay, he got his moment on TV. Now he's happy. He's bringing us cold beers when we're done. So
okay.
You want to put him on TV again? Now, during the summer months, that would be now, wouldn't it? The smell of picnic foods often fills the air at Tyrone's Reservoir Park. It's noted as one of Tyrone's most beautiful landmarks. It's located on 33 acres of land, and some may remember it from the 1930s to the 60s, when 2 dances a week were held for young people in a large wooden pavilion. Today, an amphitheater is in that spot. It's home to a number of entertainers during the summer months. And the borough says that sometimes people actually line up to reserve a pavilion. If it's air conditioned, we're on our way. But up next, this town, and in all seriousness, we're having a little fun. We're a little heat stroke here, but Tyrone's a great place. I don't know if you've ever been here. And the town has a very rich history. We're going to talk about its industry, specifically a couple of companies that have been around here for generations.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Tyrone, like so many communities in West Central Pennsylvania that, you know, like the stock and trade here, they have a number of businesses that started a long time ago and are still continuing.
Now, one of those is our next story, and chances of you've heard of, thank you, Marty, or here too,
okay,
or maybe you have eaten something from one of its 10 stores in the region.
Gardner's Candies was founded in 1897 by a 16-year-old boy.
James Gardner, his nickname was Pike, was roasting peanuts on the street and selling them in Tyrone. And from there, Gardner's Candies began.
The young Gardner added a horse-drawn wagon so he could take and sell his candy, popcorn, and peanuts at local fairs and carnivals. Since then, Gardner's has kept its roots in Tyrone with a factory and storefront employing a number of Tyrone natives.
There are about 85 people that work here in the plant, and I would say about 90% of them are Tyrone residents. Our plant manager, born and raised in Tyrone, as many of the other people who work here. So we're proud of that.
And while you may think it would be a dream to work in a candy factory like Gardner's, owner Sam Phillips has a warning.
Eat a big breakfast every day so you don't get the nibblies at around 10 o'clock, and then eat an early lunch, eat a good lunch. I'm serious, otherwise you're grabbing and eating all day long, and watch out.
But Phillips says his employees are allowed to nibble all they want because they serve as quality control taste testers. Gardner's makes various types of chocolates and candies, but the company has a single best seller. And it's partly because of the secret formula, which we are not allowed to know. It's the peanut butter melt-away.
Far our biggest seller at every holiday. Peanut butter melt-away Santa Clauses, peanut butter melt-away gift boxes, peanut butter melt-away Easter eggs, peanut butter melt-away Easter bunnies. That is what we're known for, what we're famous for.
During our visit, peanut butter cups were coming down the line ready to be individually packaged and sold. But that's just the beginning. We saw some pretzel chocolate bars, caramel, and cappuccino melt-aways being made. And words just can't describe how it smelled. Although,
Honestly, you get used to it. It's something that's not there.
and while getting used to the delectable smell takes some of the magic out of it, the fact remains that Gardner's Candies has more than 100 years experience and credits its success to its founder, James Pike Gardner's philosophy of making a quality product with great service.
It's hard to believe those employees there get used to the smell, and
I actually had a melt away in my pocket, but we're not going to look at it right now.
that's one of our favorite candies, by the way.
Yeah,
you can't
really is great.
You can't come to Tyrone without talking about another company here that is really the backbone of the community.
If you think about it, just about everyone who lives in this community has some kind of a tie with what's known today as the American Eagle paper mills.
You suddenly realize how many tens of thousands of people have been affected by this mill. So starting in 1880, the people that worked here then, their descendants, most of them worked here.
Billed as one of the oldest working paper mills in the country, the Tyrone paper mill opened for business in the 1880s and was a booming producer of paper products. But in October 2001, everything changed for the small Blair County community when the mill unexpectedly shut its doors, putting hundreds of people out of work, affecting many families. Then in 2003, a group of men bought the mill from its previous owner and opened the American Eagle paper mills.
This mill has changed its face several times over the years, from the grades of paper that were required back in the 1800s back to what we have today, which sets us apart is that we're 100% recycled paper mill. There are only a few of those in North America.
Michael Grimm is a Tyrone native and the president CEO of American Eagle Paper Mills. He says the process of making recycled paper doesn't start with cutting down trees, but rather buying recycled waste paper and other recovered fibers.
Taking waste paper, so paper that would and could end up in a landfill and turn it back into a sheet of paper. So everything, we sell approximately 90,000 tons of paper a year. So we buy approximately 90,000 tons of waste paper a year. So we bring it in and reprocess it and turn it back into paper.
So what's the process for making a piece of paper? Well, it all starts with something that's already been used, like paper that's already been printed on. From there, it gets blended up and broken down to fibers.
And it goes through a whole line of different processes until it gets out to the paper machine. And when it starts in the paper machine, it's 99% water. And as it goes down through the machine at 1,600 feet a minute, by the time it gets to the other end of the machine, it comes out on a roll.
Today, American Eagle Paper employs more than 260 workers and produces paper that's used all over the country.
And of course, happening in Tyrone this weekend is Hoops Fest. It's really big around here, and already out there you got Carrie Osep and Cody Leibowitz out there warming up for the celebrity.
And Carrie is kicking Cody's butt.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to make sure that's on the record.
Yeah.
But it is really warm here. We make sure everybody stays hydrated. Tony, that's the message, I'm sure, for the weekend.
Yeah, Marty, Jen, that's the big thing. Lots and lots of water. If you can, get in a swimming pool, stay in the air conditioning. It is going to be hot. It's hot out there now. Gets even hotter heading into this weekend. What it really feels like outside, 97 in Emporium, 93 State College. Huntington, 99 is what it feels like currently. That's the apparent temperature. 90 in Altoona, 91 Clearfield. So most areas feeling like it's between 90 and 100 degrees right now. The exception, Cambria and Somerset counties. That's primarily because of clouds from earlier today, cutting back on temperatures just a little bit, and also the terrain helps out always too throughout Johnstown, Evansburg, and Somerset. The higher hilltops, a little bit of a breeze, not quite as much heat. But tomorrow and Sunday, you will also heat up. Everybody this weekend will feel like it's between 90 and 100 degrees, maybe even a little bit higher than that around Huntington and also Emporium heading into Saturday and also Sunday. Check out the 7-day highs around 90 into this weekend through Monday. Cold front comes in, giving us our best chance of showers and storms on the 7-day forecast. That happens on Monday afternoon. We'll be back with more from Tyrone right after this.
No, know it's not Brazil. It just feels like that. This next story is going to take us a little bit outside of Tyrone. If you go across the Iron Bridge toward Grazierville, you will find the Iron Bridge Dinner Theater.
Now, it's only about a year old. It boasts the title, though, of Central Pennsylvania's premier dinner theater experience.
The Iron Bridge Dinner Theater opened early in August 2015. In less than a year, it's earned the title of premier, and that's because it's actually the only professional dinner theater in the state west of Lancaster County.
There's 4 professional dinner theaters here in Pennsylvania, 1 in Allentown, 2 in Lancaster, and then us here in Tyrone. So we have kind of a huge monopoly on the western part of the state.
Baker says he chose to open near Tyrone because of its central location to Interstate 99, but that's not the only reason. He says it's because of the vaudeville performers.
Many of the theaters that held the old vaudeville performers that traveled the circuit between Bellefonte, Lockhaven, Bellefonte, State College, Tyrone, the whole way up through to the Mishler Theater in Altoona and beyond, that whole circuit, those vaudeville performers would have traveled this railroad line right behind our facility.
But those vaudeville performers are long gone. Now anyone who comes to see a show will see a comedy or a drama, even a musical performed by professional actors. Not to mention get a meal too.
The menu changes with each production, not each show night, but each production features a menu that's somewhat themed to the actual show.
Things like barbecue chicken, pulled pork, and ham are catered, complete with sides and desserts. Currently playing through July 29th is Bikinis, a musical beach party. And in August, the comedy Double Wide Texas will begin its run.
We're running out of time here for this week's Your Town, but we want to let you know next week is the popular Viewers' Choice broadcast. You voted, and we're going to highlight all the things that make Curwensville, Clearfield County special. So join us. That's next Friday, July 29th at Memorial Park on State Street in Curwensville. We hope to see you there. But right now we have, before we go, Falmage Cup. This guy's 81 years old, and he's
playing in Hoops Fest.
In Hoops Fest.
So how much? All right, have you played in all 16 of these?
Yes, I have.
Are you any good?
Damn right.
It's Tyrone, folks. What's good, inside or outside shot?
I'm outside, 3-pointers.
All right, you going to make a bundle?
I'm going to try.
All right, we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching.
We want to thank everybody here in Tyrone and the crew for everything they did for us that week. Erica has the rest of the day's news coming up. Hoops Fest gets started here in Tyrone. Hoop, 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 hoop.
Thanks, buddy. Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.